Our next presenters are two of our students, two of our grade 12 students, and they are both co-presidents of our SAC, Students Activity Council. So I'm happy to present to you Amelia Bookhan and Jonathan Heath.
Good afternoon, good evening, I apologize, everyone. My name is Amelia Buchan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Heath.
And we are currently the representatives of Student Council of Lincoln.
Next slide. So hello, everyone. As we're all here today, we want to talk about kind of Lincoln and how Lincoln is making strides against, anti-racism and, trying to be more inclusive within schools. We know that through the news and through history that anti-racism has been a huge problem, and it's not something that just exists on the news and exists on your TV. But the message that we want to bring today is that anti-racism is something that we should be spreading, and that's something that we should be continuing to speak about, even to this day and even in our schools. So in our presentation for both myself and Amelia, we want to focus on two major things that Lincoln is doing to help promote anti-racism and break down these barriers and try to educate students and integrate, anti-racism thoughts and ideologies, into our classrooms and into our communities. So the first major thing that we want to talk about is this kind of model of relearning, re-educating, and remodeling, anti-colonial and anti-racist kind of behaviors and thoughts within our classrooms. And that kind of details looking critically at the integral flaws of our past learning models and, building new ones. And of course, that can't be done just alone. We have to also include the action of integration, not only taking what we learn and not just learning it, but kind of integrating it into Lincoln and into our classrooms and societies. And, that's what we're going to be talking about today, implementing our conclusions into our learning environment. Next slide.
So why do we need to do this? So although the horrific actions of our nation's past continue to have lasting effects on African and Caribbean Canadian communities, we believe the future is ultimately in our hands. We must come together in solidarity and become the change we wish to see. Likewise, we believe that LMA is making strides to ensure that equitable and accurate representation of all ethnic groups in our communities and classrooms. Next slide, please. So our current learning model focuses on the relearn, re-educate, remodel system. Before systematic change can occur, we must first look critically at our past actions and seek to correct our past wrongs. Here are some of the changes implemented within the learning environment for Lincoln M. Alexander Secondary School. Lincoln has designed critical thinking courses dedicated to teaching cultural history, such as the interdisciplinary studies, which focuses on dismantling our many subconscious colonial attitudes and seek to re-educate us on pre-colonial excellences. It also utilizes many works of post-colonial literature, such as My Grandmother's Hand, which focuses on racialized trauma and the pathway to mending our hearts and body. Another way Lincoln educates the students on current issues is by upgrading the English curriculum. Now we focus more on books such as The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, The Skin We're In by Desmond Cole. These books shed light upon the racially unfair system on which society and communities were built. Literature is more than just essays in 16th century books, and Lincoln's goal is to make sure their students are aware of that. Next slide, please.
Thank you so much, Amelia. And of course, like I talked about in the beginning, educating ourselves is one thing, but putting it into action and putting it into Lincoln is something that is integral and important towards dismantling these attitudes and cultures. So one thing that myself and Amelia have strongly thought about and have strongly recognized is that change cannot occur without actions. And here are some of the actions that are demonstrated by both staff and students of Lincoln in regards to the change that we want to make. So the first thing regards to equal and fair representation within LMA arts programs. So in previous years, LMA has sought to create and demonstrate the wonders of Black culture towards all Lincoln students. So whether that mean a showcase, slam poetry, making videos about Black history and showing that to the students, we as LMA, we are working to take Black excellence and demonstrate it and show it to the students of Lincoln. And, of course, share it within our arts, as I said, with our dance programs. You should see some of our showcases. It's kind of amazing. If you ever want to stop by, we'll be sure to save a seat for you. But in addition to this, we have also had the creation of a group called the BSA, or the Black Students Alliance. And of course, that group is a student-led initiative, So it's not led by teachers. It's not the teachers telling us to do this. It's the students themselves. It's our own voices that are saying, hey, we want to have a group that showcases Black excellence. That is an alliance for Black students. And of course, we students have done that. And, we've hosted a variety of successful events, such as the movie days, and we will continue to host many more successful events and showcase Black culture and showcase Black excellence to the students of LMA. And again, those were just some of the previous events that we have done in the past, but we have so much more going forward for the future. Thank you. You can next slide.
Thank you so much, Jonathan and Amelia. Okay, for our next presenter,